Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Warren Egypt Franklin about Grownish on Freeform. Thank you for your time. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be on today.
It's exciting. We're going to talk about Grownish. Obviously, it's really exciting. You have a cool role in that. But before that, storytelling, acting, we know you come from a theater background as well with your work on Hamilton. Was theater your first love, Warren?
Yeah, theater was definitely my first love. Before that, I really love sports, and I played sports for a long time, but I kind of realized that like sports was my dad's dream, and although I love it and it still has a huge place in my heart, I think I felt more comfortable being on stage. And yeah, ever since then, I wanted to be on Broadway and to become this mega star, So yeah, ever since I was a little kid.
So you started Broadway and then you started doing like the TV and like the on-screen stuff, correct? Does it
Yeah.
ever happen the other way around? Like I'm sure it happens, but where I'm wondering if it ever happens where people like didn't do theater, like they were on TV and films, right? And then they were like, oh, theater is something I wanted to try. That happens too, I'm sure, right?
No, that definitely happens. Usually it's stunt casting and they'll put someone who's a famous or a bigger name into the show to help the sales. But every now and then, like my good friend Brandy, she was not a Broadway girl. She was a recording star. And then she went into Chicago later in her career.
Yeah.
And she was amazing in Chicago. So sometimes you get these bigger celebrities and you put them in the shows. And sometimes they're not that great, but then sometimes like Brandy and a slew of other people, they go into the role and they actually elevate it. So yeah, sometimes that does happen.
When do you think it hit everyone? Like Hamilton, it's such an amazing production. I mean, it's such a big brand and has such a big presence in the world. When did you notice it? Even if it was before you started working on the production. I mean, when do you think it all kind of exploded for Hamilton?
Yeah, no, it was way, way, way before I joined the show. I knew the magnitude that Hamilton would be this big thing.
Yeah.
I think when I saw all the people who looked like me, there was really not a show before that where everyone, for the most part, was a person of color. And every lead in our show is a person of color. There are no white lead. Well, there's one with the exception of King George, but he was written to be that way, But other than that, we had never really seen anything like that where we weren't playing slaves or we weren't playing oppressed people or we weren't the minority. This was simply a story about America and a revolution and the climb of an immigrant in the financial system. Like we had never, technically, there's nothing in Hamilton that it doesn't call for people of color. But
Yep.
the fact that Lynn went out on a limb to make it about people of color just made it even more amazing.
Absolutely. Hamilton just seemed to be this craze that was like here to stay. And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I saw it my freshman year of college. And literally when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I have to be in this. There's not a piece of theater that moved me like it. And it still hasn't today. I will still get goosebumps and chills on stage, even in the show, of things that I experience every night that'll still hit me. It's an amazing show.
We're here to talk about Grownish, but we had to get the Hamilton talk in there, man. Come on. We had to. You're right.
No, absolutely. It's a big deal. Hamilton's huge.
Absolutely. Grownish, Freeform. I mean, the show is awesome. It's spin-off of Blackish and just a really great show just from top to bottom. The characters are amazing. The growth is amazing. What's it like working on a show like this?
Working on Grownish was a dream as well. I watched Grownish when Grownish first premiered, and I love the storylines. Another example of people of color being leads and being in college. And it's such a realistic show because these things do happen in college, and college is hard. And
Yeah.
you find yourself in college and you start to learn who you are, how to navigate, who your real friends will be, So it's an amazing show, and it has some super heavy hitting people on there. So I'm just honored to be with the cast this season.
It's really interesting how comedies and dramedies, they call it drama and comedy, it has shifted, especially like the sitcom, because technically some people like would technically in some ways Grownish could be considered a sitcom, right? So
Yes.
yeah, it's a sitcom. Yeah. So, but like sitcoms are hitting pretty hard these days. It's not just like the slapstick comedy and like the haha laugh tracks. Like, have you noticed that transformation of the sitcom, Warren?
Yeah, I think we as viewers have even changed,
Yep.
with everything going on in the world and socially, the writers can't relax. And I'm not talking Grownish writers, I'm talking about writers of TV period. You can't relax and sit into what maybe got you viewings or ratings before, because now we have to bring to light these issues that are happening. That's why I love being on Grownish, a show where this season we talk about mental health with athletes. We talk about social injustices and Black Lives Matter. We talk about the education system and what it means to actually pay back loans and what do you do after college. There's so many interesting topics that we hit on, that I think that Grownish is really leading the forefront, for other shows to really delve into those topics as well.
It's interesting you say that, because my show is global, but I live in Canada, and it was actually
I love Canada.
Yeah, it was actually announced that they're gonna like teach in grade 7 and 8 like how to pay off a mortgage and how to apply at a bank. Like that's pretty crazy, right? That's
It's a big deal.
yeah.
You should know how to do those things. I always said, even now as an adult, I wish there was a
Yeah,
class
like when we went
like
to
my senior
school,
year
we
of high
didn't
school.
have that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't get that. We didn't know how a credit score would impact everything for us. And so it's interesting. I think, in the education system, we teach kids how important ACT scores are and SATs and how to get into college. But once I get into college, how do I maintain? Also
Absolutely.
academic is different for everyone. So it is really important.
For sure. They're saying we're in the golden age of television, and I agree with that statement. But I feel like the true reason we're in the golden age of television is something that's not the actual reason they're saying it is. The reason they're obviously saying we're in the golden age of television is just the quality of the content is amazing. And I agree. The writing's amazing. The cinematography is unbelievable. But I think there's another thing that has made it the golden age. I'm a huge fan, and I love, and it blows my mind to see how global content is because of the access, because of streaming
Yeah.
services and everything. The fact that there are people from all around the world that watch certain shows and that can message you from all over the world about Grownish, about all these shows, about Hamilton. Hamilton, for example, is like global, huge popularity. That is something that's never been seen before. Like when I was growing up, content was not global. Like,
Yeah.
do you agree with me? Like, I'm so excited about it because it's just
No, no,
crazy to
no.
see, man.
Absolutely. I've gotten messages from fans, huge Grownish fan pages from Brazil and from Africa. And this morning I got one from Italy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because all these places that I haven't been blessed to be able to travel to yet, these fans are watching, and some of them, their English is broken with the messages that they're sending, but they're getting the message through TV,
Yeah.
and that is just so amazing. I think what we have done with technology and, like you said, with outreach and all these streaming platforms,
And quick, right? Like hits quick.
yeah, it's
It's
really amazing.
it's really amazing because it is so like I'm a 91, right? So like when I was growing up, like it was just these were the shows on TV, that's it. These were the shows you read about in the paper. Now it's like it is
Also,
so
if you
different.
missed the show, when we grew up, if you missed the show, you might not get to see it again, or you got to watch the rerun, or maybe if they air it again later that
Or like
night.
the tape, the VCR,
Or you
your
gotta
your your
VCR.
your tape, like my Power Rangers tapings got all messed
Yeah.
up,
Uh-huh.
so I couldn't rewind it. Like,
I think we thought that the best it got was in the early 2000s when you could DVR something. Like you could record it and not use tape. It just stayed in this cable box, and now we have all these streaming platforms. I can't wait to see where TV will be in 4 or 5 years, because we'll probably look at this interview and laugh about this because it'll be in such a crazy place by then.
It's amazing. We're gonna get a little deep right here, right now. You know, you're part of Hamilton. You're on Grownish. You're an actor. You're in the public eye more than ever, people, just naturally, because people could see you at a show or see you on TV. Do you automatically associate a responsibility with, you know, how you act and what you post on social media because of the fact that you are in the public eye more, Warren? Like, is that something that comes to mind right away? Like, it is important.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said no.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I do watch what I post and what I say, and I have a lot of fans who are kids as well. But I think one thing that you have to realize is that although someone may look up to me, I'm no one's parent. You know, it's not my job to parent. It's my job to be and inspire and create and live my artistic truth, but it's not my job quite yet. I hope to be a dad one day, but it's not my job quite yet to parent, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that the parents have to watch the content that they're letting their kids have access to and let them see, you know, that's really their jobs. But also with the flip side of that, on a more positive note, it is my job to share content about social justice movements and to share content about how to help people. Because more than a performer, an actor, a singer, dancer, I'm a philanthropist and a lover as well. So I think that social media has helped us to spread the word about things that are going on and how to help each other and to get the word out about things. So I'm really happy that we can do that through social media.
For Warren Egypt Franklin, what is the best thing about storytelling that trumps other things about storytelling?
I think the fact that I get to be a therapist, I get to be a doctor. Someone can be going through something and come into the theater, or someone could be having a day and watching TV, and I am able to open up conversations and change people's minds that didn't even sign up for that or know that would happen necessarily. You know what I mean? So like in a way, we as performers, we're therapists, we're doctors, you know, we're changing people's lives. And the fact that I can have a lasting impact on someone's life through my art, that's all I ever wanted to do, man. That's literally all I've ever wanted to do. So I'm so grateful.
Amazing. Warren, thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I love your show, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Grownish is on Freeform. I think the 22nd, of July, the episodes came back, I believe.
So yeah, season 4 of Grownish is out now. The first 4 episodes are out right now, streaming on Hulu, and every Thursday there is a new episode at 8/7 Central. So,
amazing. Yeah. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with it? I mean, we talked about it. We got to plug it now, right?
Yeah. You can follow me on my Instagram at Warren Egypt, my first name. I don't have a Twitter or a TikTok or any of those because I'm an old soul. Maybe in the future. Day. But for right now, you can just catch me on Instagram.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Popternative.com for other content as well if you want to check that out. Until next time, this is Warren Egypt Franklin from Grownish and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.